Yo, so a fun thing happened, right? I had this script, um, wrote it 2 days ago. I'm like, okay, well today I'm gonna go and start recording and shit. Um, there's a tornado, so that's cool, and it's really close to me. It's really close, but on the same note, there's really not much I can do about it. So, I'm still gonna do the video, I think. So, I like to call this Riot Fest discussions, otherwise known as a quick one before the eternal tornado devours my home. Because I literally have nothing better to be doing. I don't have a basement. So, here we go. Last year, Riot Fest was pretty cool. Very expensive. Wasn't expecting that. I'm sure other years were cheaper, but we paid a lot. And that was just for general admission for 2 days. So, that's neat. But a guy handed me his blunt while we were waiting for Green Day. And I cried blood while we were watching the Beach Boys. Overall, it was a great time. Like I said, kind of damn expensive, especially when you're making not even minimum wage. Only issue is I am impatient as hell. And given the tornado, I don't really think I got a lot of time. But I need to know now. I need to know if I can see Ballsack, the Jaws of Death, cranking it crazy style on the stage again. I'm using all of my immense power to manifest everybody in this video's in this year's lineup, because that'll definitely work. So we're looking for bands that are suspiciously free anywhere from the 18th to 20th of the, preferably people on tour, because I mean they have like a NDA or something not to show up until the lineup drops. And honestly, like when it comes to the lesser known acts, I got no idea, dude. I got no idea. We're just kind of shooting the shit here, you know.
This is called We Are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame.
I don't know if this counts as an honorable mention, but like, it's a mention nonetheless. I do not want Pantera there. I don't want Pantera here. And like, I mean, if I had a larger audience, more than 8 subscribers, I'll probably be jumped for that. But, I don't want them. And yeah, call me the friend that's too woke, but like, sorry, don't be racist? Question mark? I don't think that's a crazy ask. I guess I should play the clips, but I think you know which ones I'm talking about.
Heated gaming moment. It happens to the best.
The problem is that that's a response in your head that you could have to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, I've been drunk before, quite a few times. I've never been racist. Never been racist while I've been drunk. Dude, that's a crazy bare fucking minimum. But yeah, like even like fans, I don't know, it the whole kind of scene there feels like the people that are like, chill out, liberal, it's just a joke. And then they make fun of minorities and get mad when you say honky. On the other hand, there's Sublime, which I would really like to see, probably as like a co-headliner. I went to see them in December 2025 at Twisted Christmas. It was the last day there. And I got literally swallowed by the Pinkie Pie demon. And since they've been reunited back in 2023, they've been on a roll, a pretty consistent roll with a lot of their dates and shows. They've shown up to quite a lot of things over the years. If I'm not mistaken, they were also at a Riot Fest kind of recently, so that might dwindle their chances a bit, but I still think they'll probably be down for it. I mean, if Guar can do it 2 years in a row, and hopefully a third, I don't know why Sublime couldn't. Jacob's such a fun personality to be in, like, even just kind of the general concert hall with. He brings great vibes. There was two old dudes fighting, and he was like, yo, my bad, y'all, I said to get crazy, but like, not that crazy, chill. He's like the living embodiment of a Four Loko. But seriously, like, imagine that for a moment. Sometimes they do like album plays and shit, and this year Sublime self-titled is gonna be 30. So imagine just like a crowd of 40,000 people just standing there singing What I Got while they're all drinking beers and shit and smoking weed. That sounds awesome. The only thing is, if the next artist I talk about actually shows up, they're probably not gonna get album play. Sublime's probably not gonna get album play. It's probably gonna be these guys. I don't know if that showed up in the thing, but there was a very bright ass lightning strike. So does anybody else hear that ominous bell tolling? No, just me? Okay, cool. Next artist is My Chemical Romance. Black Parade turns 20 this year, and I mean, they've been all around touring. I don't think right now they have a show in Chicago, so I'd say it makes sense for them to show up, especially with Fest, because they've been going to Fests. A lot of the people on this list are going and actively going to Fests this year. There's so many festivals this year. It's such a good year for this shit. A lot of people don't really want My Chemical Romance because the last time they were there was apparently very shitty. Apparently they just, I mean, look at me in my eyes and tell me you would be surprised that a pit for My Chem is not hell. Because I'm not I'm not surprised. I don't really know anything about that personally. I've only been there once. I've only been to Riot once. Remember that. Still, by all technicalities, a poser. I had fun, but I'm still new to this, so I don't know anything about how bad it was. But I do remember how bad Green Day got towards the end there. And if it's anything like that, then I could see some issues. But if it is even worse than Green Day, then damn. Maybe it ain't a good idea, but hopefully this time they'll actually be prepared for a larger crowd. So I'm a little skeptical about this one because they're apparently allergic to Chicago or something, but Tool could be a major headliner, definitely a major one. They've never been to Riot Fest before. Our chances might be lowered because Pussifer is touring, but that's like starts this month and it ends in May. So, there is still a little bit of a gap there. And Tool's been going to a lot of music festivals this year as well. Pretty sure they're going to be at Louder Than Life, Aftershock, Sonic Temple, probably more I just didn't look into. And Anima's going to be 30 this year. I keep bringing up the importance of anniversaries because I mean, these are like big milestones. 96 and 2006 were huge years for this kind of music. Maynard James Keenan, you beautiful bald man. I have it in the script here to say, throw me on the stage like you did with Dead One Fan and keep singing Push It crazy style. I was tired, okay? Speaking of the importance of anniversaries, I don't think Fall Out Boy is going to be at Riot this year. I'm pretty sure they're working on music this year. I am kind of hopeful they'll show up to Riot next year because their best Don't At Me album is turning 20. Infinity on High is turning 20 next year. And they're Chicago natives. So, maybe there's a chance. They're like our golden boy. I mean, Kanye was our golden boy for a bit, but last year Sex Pistols was supposed to show up for Riot, but their guitarist had an injury, so they canceled all shows just outright, which, yeah, I mean, what the hell else are you gonna do? This year, though, I am fairly confident they'll show up. I think Nine Inch Nails, Jawbreaker, couple of others maybe, delayed and pushed back their date at Riot Fest to like the next year or the year after that. And suspiciously, Sex Pistols is starting back their tour this year on the 10th of September, which is, if you look at a calendar, only a week away from the start of Riot. So I'm like the most confident in this one. If this doesn't happen, I don't know. Don't blame me. I've seen talks online of people talking about the potential for Panic at the Disco. I don't really believe this one on account of them literally not having any shows since November last year. I wouldn't say they're done, but I also didn't really see any music festivals. Maybe I just didn't look hard enough, but I didn't see any festivals or other shows this year for them to actually show up at. So tell you what, I want to see that big beautiful forehead on Brendan Urie. I'm sure you probably do too. I'm gonna make a binding vow. I genuinely, I'm so confident in this one not happening that I'm going to make a sandwich out of my ballsack. Yes, nuts included, and choke on that bitch live on camera. Yes, we are doing the Etika binding vow. The binding vow, literally just to see that man's goddamn forehead. This is the part where I would put my prediction for Pixies down. If I had one. They're not coming, bro. They're not coming. OK Go would be a really fun band to see live. I think they're a very creative band, and they're at Shaky Knees this year, but I don't think that rules them out of the 18th and the 19th necessarily. And they're also Chicago natives. So, guys, please come to Riot Fest. This is the part where I expend all the energy in my body to summon every single possible band I can at once. I'm just gonna start naming people off. This isn't like anything researched or educated. This is just pure agenda right here. This is just pure, unfiltered, 100% agenda and cope. King Gizzard, I Monster, Young the Giant, Baby Metal, Deftones, Phantom Planet, Soul Coughing, Ween, Joji, The Offspring, Megadeth, Toadies, Snot, Acid Bath, Eels, Tomahawk, Jilica, Goldfinger, Cake, Godspeed, You Black Emperor, The Heavy, The OCs, Jordy Grieve, Gary Newman, The Strokes, The fucking Oozes, Swans, Andrew WK, Whitey, Fall of Troy, Julie, The Mars Volta, Coheed and Cambria, Hayley Williams or Paramore,
Tropical Fuck Storm,
Dory, Primer 55, Boa, The Garden, Freddie Dredd, Muse, Royal Blood, and fuck it, let's double down on the crazy ass manifestations. I'm also going to make a sandwich, not just me, but you, if they get Death Grips or fucking Fugazi. Clock's ticking, Western man. But yeah, it was nothing too crazy, you know, just a cope and pure agenda-filled rush talking about bands that I hope show up at Riot Fest this year. Until the lineup, this is all I got, man. I can't take this anymore. I really need that shit to drop expeditiously. My plan for when the lineup actually does drop is look at the quote-unquote minor artists and go down the list and see which ones would be interesting. That way I go into it knowing more. I don't think you can really ever know enough artists when it comes to music. It is such a wide and diverse art form. I think it was Schopenhauer. I know we don't really like that guy, but he said it himself, that music is the closest thing we have to reaching heaven, because it is technically a being solely created by our minds. Like, there's not necessarily a way to imitate it, or I mean, like, unless you're, like, really spiritual, you're not going to exactly find music out in the wild, if that makes sense. That was a weird tangent, my bad. my bad, yo. Hope you enjoyed, let me know your thoughts. Subscribe so I can get more than 8 subs before the Eternal Worm